This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check, saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented, active, and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Con Edison, on it, working for you 24/7. We're delivering reliable service, energizing your life, empowering your business. We're people helping people every day.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Transit News Magazine. This month we have a really great Metrocard deal for you and your entire family. I'm Vivian Guzman.
That's right, Vivian. And we're here in Coney Island once again. And what makes this year so special is that Coney Island has been completely restored after Superstorm Sandy. I'm Ozzie Cruz.
What would a day in Coney Island be if we didn't stop here first at Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs? Probably the most famous hot dog establishment in the entire country.
And this month, your Metrocard will get you a deal on great rides at Luna Park and a baseball game at MCU Park. And here at Nathan's, you might even get a chance to challenge Joey Chestnut's record of 69 hot dogs. But first, before we dig into the good food on this month's show,
I'm Lena Lansky. Join me at this iconic restaurant to celebrate an iconic neighborhood.
Why do we have to completely shut down this tunnel? I'm Michael Hall, and I've got that story.
This historic roller coaster graces virtually every top roller coaster list there is. Roller coasters may have gotten bigger and better, but none have gotten better than the Cyclone.
every roller coaster enthusiast around the world hopes to get on the Cyclone. But roller coasters aren't the only forms of transportation people love. Here's Abby Uzumir with that story.
For over 100 years, Grand Central Terminal has served as a major transportation hub and a tourist hotspot. While thousands of visitors are drawn to its incredible architecture, few realize that there is even more to see beneath the surface.
So you're getting to see something that most people will never see. And that's, a gigantic excavation underground that nobody has. Most of the people who were up here had absolutely no idea what was going on.
140 feet below Grand Central Terminal, construction continues on the East Side Access Project.
The East Side Access is Long Island Railroad project to bring Long Island Railroad passengers to and from Grand Central Terminal.
With 4 new tracks and 8 additional trains, the East Side Access Project will cut commuting time by approximately 40 minutes. Last month, a group called the Young Professionals in Transportation got a chance to tour the construction site.
MTACC is a really gracious host. This project is amazing. It's hard to believe that you're 150 feet below Grand Central Terminal. It's about to be another terminal, and there's these massive caverns. It's incredible about the work and effort that had to go into doing that.
The Young Professionals in Transportation has given its members an insider's glimpse into the world of transit.
I've learned about all these capital projects and such on paper, but now I can finally see it in person, and I think it's a great opportunity.
So can you tell us a little bit about the tours and how it started?
The tour started about 4 or 5 years ago when the East Side Access wanted to get as much publicity for their project as they could, to let as many people who were interested to find out about it, why it was costing so much money, how long it would take, and all the things that are generated over a multi-billion-dollar project. The tours are open to anyone who wants to come down here, as long as they go through the process to get vetted for the tours.
With a completion date of 2019, there's still plenty of time to get a sneak peek into the future home of the Long Island Railroad.
I thought the tour was great. It was really cool to see the construction, and Bill Urey was really informative about everything. It was a great experience. I learned that this place is huge, and when it does open, it's going to be the most amazing thing ever.
The rocks all around me are over 1 billion years old, but this is the future of mass transit. I'm Abby Uzamir, reporting for Transit News.
So tell me about Luna Park.
Luna Park is a fantastic space in Coney Island that has an amazing amount of rides and games and food. So anyone who comes out here will have something to do between going in the ocean, the beach, and the boardwalk, and of course all the games around us. And we're super excited because we've been here for 4 years now. We've got lots of new rides. We're excited that you're here with us.
When's the best time to come to Luna Park?
Always is a good time to come to Luna Park, but definitely during the weekdays is when you're getting the best discounts.
Speaking of discounts, tell me about the Metrocard deal.
Sure, we're working with the Metrocard, so if you go onto the website and check out the deal, $7 off of our wristband. That's usually $30, but it's $7 off. That's a real deal. You can ride all of the rides you see around me as many times as you want for 4 hours. That's a good deal.
I think that's a great deal. Thank you so much, Nicole.
The Bmb Carousel is Coney Island's oldest historic carousel. It's been restored and relocated to be the centerpiece of Steeplechase Plaza.
And just like experts were able to restore this carousel to make it look and run like new, New York City Transit is in the process of a restoration of its own. Here's Michael Hall with that story.
The after effects of a storm that crippled the infrastructure of New York City Transit are still being felt.
Right now, Montague has been restored following the Superstorm Sandy, but it was temporary work. And what we're looking to, hopefully in August, is to begin a 14-month shutdown and bring in the workers that we need and begin rehabilitating the tube permanently.
The cleanup and repairs continue, and this time it's the Montague and Greenpoint tubes.
For the Montague Street tube, you're looking at a tube that's over 5,000 feet long. And we have duct banks on both sides. So the idea here is that we're going to take one of the duct banks, completely demolish it after we remove the cables, rebuild it, reinstall it. And in order to do that type of work, a complete shutdown was more logical.
Because of the sheer amount of work needed to restore the Montague tube, it has to be completely shut down for 14 months.
The difference between Montague and Greenpoint was that in Greenpoint there was only a small section of duct bank that required the repair, which was about 100 feet, and we decided that would work. And then we could run the cable. But in this case, when you start looking at the amount, 5,000 feet on each track, 10,000 feet of duct bank, the resources that would require to do this work around the clock would just take away from too many of our other projects.
The Greenpoint tube will be repaired by Transit's own workers and will be shut down only on the weekends.
Well, the Greenpoint tube is being done in-house, and so the work is being led and delivered by the in-house forces and the line divisions that manage those forces. Our group is playing a coordination role.
But there is still a lot of work to be done.
The work itself is also fairly comprehensive. Includes rail work, it includes cable work, includes some duct bank work, not as extensive as here, but still, some demolition work. Includes cabling work on the rim of the tube as well as emergency systems.
When you fill a 5,000-foot subway tube with water, nothing escapes damage.
Montague was one of those tubes that was completely flooded from the track bed all the way to the ceiling. So what we lost was basically all our communication cables as well as our power and our comm cables that run through duct banks.
Superstorm Sandy's magnitude caused an unprecedented amount of damage to the Montague tube, which saw its infrastructure destroyed.
When we began assessing the damage, we began looking at the condition of the duct banks. We found that they were in poor condition. Now, renewing those cables becomes more difficult now because as we pull cable out, we expect that the duct bank is going to deteriorate even further.
And saw its pumps overwhelmed.
In my 28 years of service here at Transit, no, this on the river tunnel has relatively been dry. We haven't had any flooding events. This tunnel was flooded to the ceiling and approximately 24 feet up the shaft as well. So I don't think this system ever saw that level of flooding.
While work is being done in the Montague tube, New York City Transit is doing all it can to minimize inconvenience to its customers.
If you would have done this under 55-hour GOs, this project would take every weekend until 2017, which meant no other work in any other tube could take place while you have it out on the weekends. So the decision was made, it'd be better off to shut it down for 14 months straight, have the contractors come in and work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, get the tube back sooner so we can begin other work in other tubes and get our tubes back up to speed.
And in the Greenpoint tube,
there is a shuttle bus service that will replace the stations that are not being served during the weekend outages and the shutdowns in next year. The choice of schedule was made, being aware of the fact that there is somewhat lighter ridership over summer, and therefore we are going through a series of outages this summer, and the 24/7 outage will be next summer to try to minimise the inconvenience for riders.
The damage to this under-river tube was extraordinary, and it'll take an extraordinary effort to bring it back. I'm Michael Hall, reporting for Transit News.
Water Mania is one of the newest rides here at Luna Park. It's fun for kids of all ages, but the most important part about enjoying these rides is safety.
And to enjoy Water Mania, you must follow the rules. And the same goes for riding the subway. Here's Eddie Morrison with a story that will keep you safe while you're on a subway platform.
The MTA's main goal is to get its customers to their destinations safely, but there has been a rise in individuals being struck by trains.
How can a customer be struck by a train while standing on the platform?
A customer could be struck by a train as a result of having moved too close to the platform edge. They lean out into the path of the train and the train strikes them. In other instances, the customer could be walking on the platform, slip, trip, and fall into the side of a moving train as it moves through the station. In 2012, 141 customers were struck by trains. Of those, 55 individuals died as a result of their injuries.
There are many unfortunate ways riders can find themselves on the roadbed, whether it be deliberately or by accident.
Some customers go onto the tracks intentionally to retrieve lost property or to cross from one side of the track to the other. In other instances, customers would be walking on the platform, slip, trip, and fall off the platform edge. In still other instances, a customer might be on the platform and another customer bumps into them or pushes them and they fall off onto the track. And finally, there are instances where we've had medical conditions that result in a customer having become dizzy or unconscious and they collapse from the platform onto the track.
The tracks and trains can be a deadly combination if you stand too close to the platform. Never try to retrieve a fallen item by yourself.
If you drop something onto the right-of-way, seek the assistance of a transit authority employee, a police officer, or approach the customer assistance intercom.
Tell us why a customer should never jump down on the tracks.
Well, we have 600 volts electricity running through the third rail. Also, if you notice, when you're standing on the platform, train is huge. You go down to the tracks, it's double the size. People don't realize how high it is from the track bed to the platform is. And people, if you jump down there, people think they could jump right up and they can't. They don't make it.
Not only is going down to the tracks dangerous, but there are also legal ramifications.
Going onto the track area is illegal. You can be issued a summons and fined a penalty of $50.
And to make sure you don't risk your life or your money, New York City Transit has a team of professionals who will go down on the track and retrieve your personal belongings. A two-man crew is sent to the location.
What we'll do is we'll send up a guy, he'll go out and put out flags. The other guy, once the flagman's set up, that everything we know that's safe, he'll call control, let them know that we're going to go out there and retrieve the property.
Once the team has permission to enter onto the track to retrieve the lost item, they take a long pole with a grabber attachment and simply pick up your item.
We find all kinds of things, cell phones, iPhones, we found computers, people drop their pocketbooks, wallets, everything, from footballs all the way up, all kinds of things.
However, none of these things can compare to the safety of the customers.
I have to say that no personal item dropped onto the track area is worth the risk of human life or injury. It's as simple as that.
So, in review, do not run or horse around on the platform. Do not attempt to get on or off a train from between cars. And do not stand at the platform edge looking for the next train. Do stand at least 2 feet behind the platform edge, so if you are pushed, you have room to catch your balance. If you feel sick, back away from the edge of the platform and always be aware of your surroundings.
The tracks are for trains, not for people. If you drop something on the tracks, let a professional get it for you. For Transit News, I'm Eddie Morrison.
Stand back from the platform edge and don't become a statistic. 141 people were struck by trains in 2012. 55 were killed. Stand back. Be smart. Be safe.
We're here with Dennis of Dino's Wonder Wheel Amusement Park. So Dennis, tell us all about the Wonder Wheel.
Oh, the Wonder Wheel is a world-famous landmark attraction here in Coney Island. It's been here in continuous operation since 1920. The best part about the Wonder Wheel, in addition to the stationary cars that are around the perimeter, we have 16 swinging cars that give you the thrill of a roller coaster. It's quite a ride.
Oh, I'd love to try that. What are your hours of operation?
We open at noon,
Yeah.
and we close at 11 p.m.
And tell us about that Metrocard deal we have.
Oh, we have a Metrocard deal that entitles Metrocard holders a $2 discount off of one of our ticket packages, which is a wonderful deal.
And what's the best time to come here?
Any time is a good time. As long as the sun is shining, every time is a good time. We have an especially great promotion on Friday night. We have a beautiful fireworks display that takes place at 9:30 every Friday night. It's a wonderful experience. I think everybody should see it.
Thank you, Dennis.
You're welcome.
Dino's Wonder Wheel Amusement Park is a main attraction in Coney Island, and its rides have been thrilling fans for years.
And at the center of the amusement park is the world-famous Wonder Wheel, a New York City landmark built in 1920 by the eccentric Ferris Wheel Company. And just like the Wonder Wheel, Harlem is also world-famous for its rich culture and heritage. Our reporter, Rhea Titus, took a tour of the landmark neighborhood.
This month, all of New York is celebrating Harlem. For the last 39 years, New York has taken time out to celebrate one of its historic neighborhoods. With the help of Jim Harding, Vice President of MTA Bus, we took a tour of Harlem. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Rhea. Are you ready to take the historical tour of Harlem?
I sure am.
I'm on my way to Grant's Tomb to meet my good friend Winston Bichette. Would you like to go?
I sure would.
Okay.
Tell me about the historical sites in Harlem.
Absolutely. We have the Studio Museum of Harlem. We have the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. And we have one of my favorite events to come to uptown, Ulysses S. Grant National Memorial.
As you explore Grant's tomb, the park rangers there can answer any questions you may have. Liam, give me an overview of Grant's tomb.
It's the final resting place of President Grant and his wife, Julie. President Grant, of course, was General Grant, a famous Union commander during the American Civil War, and is credited by many people as being the savior of the nation.
Jim, I'd love to experience the culture of Harlem. Where's a good place to start?
The world-famous Apollo Theater.
Let's go. After visiting Grant's tomb, we hopped a bus to see one of Harlem's most famous sights, where we met a man they call Mr. Apollo. Billy, how do you think the Apollo adds to the rich culture of Harlem?
Well, not only does it add to the rich culture of Harlem, the Apollo adds to the American culture. It's actually the epicenter of black culture, but as far as Harlem goes, it's a source of pride for the community and economic value, because when the Apollo Theater is doing well, the community does well. So the Apollo Theater is a very significant part of the culture in Harlem and America as well.
You know, Jim, all this walking around is getting me quite hungry. Where's the best place to eat in Harlem?
I'm on my way to Sylvia's to meet my good buddy Lloyd Williams. Come on, let's go.
Founded in 1962, Sylvia's has become one of the premier soul food restaurants in the country.
Well, first and foremost, Sylvia's, the queen of soul food, was a place that people, particularly of color, came to for over 40 years. Many people who wanted to visit New York wanted to find out, what is this soul food issue? And as you look around and you see the pictures of people from around the world, famous and some not as well known who's come to Sylvia's, you recognize that Sylvia has been a major, major attraction.
And the owner was nice enough to introduce us to some of his signature dishes. Kenneth, tell us what makes Sylvia so special to people.
Well, what makes us special is 50 years of serving great food with Southern hospitality.
Tell us about these great dishes we have in front of us.
You have our traditional flares, which is fried chicken, the world famous barbecue ribs. You have string beans and very sweet candy yams. Here you have the great barbecue salmon with our luscious collard greens and macaroni and cheese.
If you want to experience the best that New York City has to offer, be sure to make Harlem your #1 destination. I'm Rhea Titus, reporting for Transit News.
Baseball and Brooklyn have always shared a unique and historical connection. And once again this summer, the fans are out to celebrate baseball in Brooklyn.
But Brooklyn isn't the only borough celebrating. We caught up with our reporter Lena Lansky at a kickoff to celebrate Harlem.
For the last 39 years, all of New York has celebrated the historic neighborhood called Harlem. This year, Harlem Week 2013 incorporates various activities into its program, including an all-day salute to Motown the Musical.
I'm here with 2 stars from Motown the Musical. How does it feel to play these 2 iconic people?
It's wonderful. It's really great. These people have paved the way for a lot of artists. Barry obviously have paved the way for a lot of moguls in the music industry, and it's a great thing to be a part of this historic musical and to continue to bring these people to life.
Motown was all about the music and the performers, and so to have a live show where we really get to share the history and the music and the energy of these icons is a really special opportunity.
It must be really nerve-wracking to have to actually play these 2 icons. Where do you get your inspiration from to get the essence of their personalities?
Well, she feeds off of my energy a great deal. She feels that my confidence carries through and really lifts her up.
Really? As you can see, he's very confident, or cocky, as one might say. Brendan and I actually have a really good relationship, and so these 2 people that we're portraying have a really honest and beautiful relationship as well. So it's like being with your best friend on stage. But as far as playing Dinah Ross, she's someone that I've admired for years. I've done a lot of research on her, and I've come to love her as I love myself. So nerve-wracking, no. I feel really blessed to be able to portray someone of such great character.
Yeah, and Barry and the whole Motown family gave us a great deal of support throughout the whole production. So we just feel we have their blessing, and they really trust us with the material.
What's your favorite part of the entire play for you guys?
I can tell you his favorite part. His favorite part is kissing me on stage.
It's nice. It's nice. Look at her, y'all.
No, but being able to sing these beautiful songs is really, really great. And I actually enjoy watching a lot of the other performers. As you can see, this company is full of talented individuals. Yeah. Brandon being one of them, our fearless leader, as we like to call him. But it's such full of great music and fabulous dancing, choreography and stuff. And so I get to watch a lot of it when I'm not on stage. So that's my favorite part.
Yeah, watching each other, that is really a really fantastic thing, because we have the most talented cast on Broadway. I would say the most talented cast performing in anything in New York. I mean, really, our cast is full of extraordinary performers, and so feeding off of each other and watching everybody, it's a really great time.
Come see this show. Come see this phenomenal man. He tears up the stage every night from start to finish, and he literally is on that stage, if not all of 2 hours and 45 minutes, at least 2 hours and 30, but it's going to keep you going and it's going to be energized, so come see the show.
As Broadway celebrates Harlem, we kicked off Harlem Week at the Russian Tea Room.
Not only Harlemites, but people all over the world gathered for the party that began the celebration of Harlem Week. The attendees were excited for the Harlem Week activities to begin.
My involvement with Harlem Week goes back to my roots in Harlem. And of course, Lloyd Williams and Vosa Rivers, they pulled me in to really produce and to cultivate the music product.
Harlem Week festivities include music and dance performances, career and college fair expos, Broadway shows, and events for children. But Harlem Week is also paying tribute to various historical milestones.
He was one of our major American composers. He left the second
largest legacy of 20th century American composition. We have bands now that carry on his music every week in Manhattan at the Jazz Standard, the Mingus Big Band. 2 of our musicians are here tonight celebrating Harlem Week.
This year's theme, Celebrating the Dream, Celebrating History. I mean, Harlem has so much history, but this year is a special occasion because it marks the anniversary, the 150th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation, the 60th anniversary of Jackie Robinson entering baseball, the 50th anniversary of the death of Medgar Evers, and each one of these individuals were all part of Harlem at some point in time.
Even though it's only called Harlem Week, we look forward to celebrating Harlem all summer long. I'm Lena Lansky reporting for Transit News.
Ozzy, I had a great time here in Coney Island. Even after all the amusement park rides, the great food, the beach, the boardwalk, I feel like I'm on vacation.
I know what you mean, Vivian, and you know what the best part is? You just grab your Metrocard, hop on Mass Transit, and you're here in no time. Man, I got some great deals on this Metrocard.
Just like that. Well, that just wraps up this month's show. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, email us at transitnews@nyct.com. I'm Vivian Guzman. Thanks for watching.
And I'm Ozzy Cruz. Thanks for writing. Hey, Vivian, let's get on that cyclone one more time before we get out of here. Let's go.
This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check, saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented active and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Con Edison, on it, working for you 24/7. We're delivering reliable service, energizing your life, empowering your business. We're people helping people every day.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.